we use powdered glucose and powdered fructose in its place? Shine? Okay. Why does it contribute to the shine of your glaze?
Because it's easier to crystallize.
Now what?
It's easier to crystallize. It's a little bit smoother,
So
right?
when we look at sugars from like dextrose or any sugars from corn, right? And a lot of times glucose it's used a lot in any place because it's sort of microscopic and attracts humidity from the air, which helps making it shine, right? So what we do, instead of using the sticky stuff on the bucket, our glucose comes in the bucket in this dry form, right? It's much cleaner because I hate that when you have people using their hands, putting it in, or spoons, whatever they use. That's disgusting, right? Hygiene. Like with school, we teach hygiene, and I don't like to operate like this, right? This is clean. Nobody puts their dirty hands in there. And then a lot of times it just sits there. When you open, I know it's sugar, so bacteria doesn't really grow. So they say. But anyway, yes.
Is that the same one that's over on the garden?
It's the same, it's just different brand. Sometimes it's frustrating. I get this brand, the brands always change. But at the end of the day, what this glucose is, what's the name of the glucose? Here. There's so many things. Atomized glucose, like what's the glucose powder. And you see, for example, most of the glucose comes actually in liquid form, right? And it's always derived from starches. Okay, like ours is atomized. Basically, what it means, it comes from Europe most of the time, and it's in a dry form instead of being liquid, right? And then a lot of times when you buy glucose, you can buy D42, 62, and whatever, and then it's basically the density and the thickness of the glucose syrup you buy. If you buy a cheap one, the glucose is usually very runny, and then the higher one is very sticky and it's not as strong, right? So you can buy different grades of glucose. But anyways, so this is just 100% pure dehydrated glucose powder. Okay. So again, glucose contributes to the shine of the glazes. And coming back to our recipe, so fructose is very similar, right? Powdered fructose, and so we have basically sugar. Yeah, let's turn this over. So we have regular sugar, pectin acid-free, very important because we don't have any fruit purees, right? But the acid level. How do we know about the acid level? I want to talk about this a little bit. That's what I want to do right now. Here we go. The pH level, right? Because everything we do, and with pectins, pH levels is very important, right? For example, and we look at the pH level, and this is the chart we have online too, right? So we use yuzu today. Yuzu has a pH level of 2.9, so very, very high pH, right? So there's a lot of acid in that. So, and then if you go for an example, which we use next week, we use strawberry. Strawberry is not as big, it's 3.4, so it's not as strong. So, when the pectin acid-free goes a little bit more in the neutral zone, and when we look at pH level, once it hits 7, the pH changes to what?
Basic, alkaline.
Alkaline, right? And then when it's more getting into the neutral zone, that's when you use pectin acid-free. Make sense? So when you have acid going anywhere Like you can use pectin acid free, it's around 6 because it's very low acid too. And and then again, it says on the pectin, the ingredients, it tells you what when you look up the chart, it tells you what the pH level is. When you're supposed to use these kind of pectin. Okay, that's why to make it easy for our class, that's why we only use the 2 pectins. Pectin acid free and H, so we don't get to use this on the other pectin. And they work really well. So in our case, coming back to the recipe, we have inulin again to keep the sugar down because a lot of times places are super sweet, right? So we put a lot of inulin in there, cocoa powder, black coloring, water, coconut fat, liquid lecithin. Like for an example, a lot of times I get liquid lecithin, but the last couple of times I get powdered lecithin. So now we have powdered lecithin, which is more concentrated. You only need half. So only use 3 grams of the lecithin we have, because it's not liquid. It's powder form, so 3 grams is enough. Okay? So only use half. Okay, so let's start here. Let's mix together sugar and pectin. You can do that. You can put it all in the bowl. That's why I have the bowl there. So we have sugar, pectin. Mix it together really well. And then you add your glucose, fructose, and inulin. You can put this all together. So basically all the sugar, right? So then what we will do is we bring this mixture up to 45, which already is. So it's already warm, so you can put this in right away. And again, you have to mix it really fast so it doesn't clump up.
So it was just the water in the pot, correct?
The water is in the pot, yeah. And now we bring the whole mixture back up to usually it's 85, but this time we bring it to a boil. Okay? So we're gonna boil the whole mixture, and then we're gonna add, once it comes to a boil, we add the cocoa powder too. Okay? And I'm gonna warm up the, oh yeah, 35, it is 35, 35 degrees. It is.
I'll trust you.
I think it's actually 38. $35.
I knew it.
Not bad, eh? So we got 35 degrees. We bring this to a boil. And again, because there's so much sugar in there, while you're heating it and boiling it, keep stirring it. Because it will actually burn. If you just leave it alone, it will burn on the bottom. So we don't want to do this. What's this?
Lecithin.
The lecithin goes in when? Oh yeah, it goes in as the coconut fat. We mix these two together. Yes. Okay. So these mixes, again, since we use pectin, which is reversible, that's why it's perfect for glazes. You can make the glaze. Tomorrow we heat it up to 50 degrees. We glaze our chocolate thingies. And then the glaze can be saved and we can reuse it, reheat it, reuse it. And that's the nice thing about it. Plus there's no cream in it or anything what really spoils. So the glaze lasts in the fridge for a long time. Did everybody try the lemon tarts? I guess so. Eh? How was it?
That's good. I really like it.
Not bad for a vegan, gluten-free, eh?
You might find from this it was. The only sad thing is my brother doesn't like lemon, so.
She doesn't like what?
My brother doesn't like lemon.
Oh, he doesn't.
What about the cherry
Oh,
one?
they're using fresh lemon. You know what? It's interesting. We used because what was it? The group, not the last group. In the fall, I had a group. They came out of a whatever session, and they used instead of fresh lemon juice, they used the bottled lemon juice. The whole filling didn't taste good. It's different, right? You need a good fresh lemon to have a good flavor. That bottled stuff, it's not the same. All right, is it boiling yet or what? We are watching the pot boil. Okay, while she's doing that, I'm gonna put my lecithin with the oil and I emulsify it. I shall do something. So again, we do emulsify this. Clean it.
What's the left of that one of the emulsifier?
Yeah.
Almost, right?
Yeah.
Again, when
So
you
why
mix
do
it
we
with
put
water.
lecithin in our glaze?
Hold on.
Emulsifier? What else does lecithin do?
I have to translate it.
Why is lecithin in chocolate? Every chocolate you buy, there's lecithin in it.
That's true.
Why? Pretty much, right? And lecithin contributes to the fluidity of chocolate. If you produce chocolate, some chocolate companies, they advertise, oh, we don't use lecithin and it's all natural, blah, blah, blah. If you melt it, it doesn't melt, right? Even you can put as much cocoa butter in as you want. You don't get the fluidity. Because a lot of times when you look at the drops on chocolate, 3, 4 drops, 5 drops, the more drops, the more fluid it is. It doesn't mean there's more cocoa butter in there. It just means there's more emulsifiers or lecithin. That helps with the fluidity of the product. And that's why we have that in our glaze too. Yes, it emulsifies, but it helps with the fluidity. Because when we glaze our chocolate things tomorrow, because they're frozen, the glaze runs really nice. Right? That's where this comes in. Not boiling yet?
Yep.
You got it?
Just keep it boiling.
So he has oil in there, right? Then here is water. So water and oil don't mix. But you put lecithin, they will mix.
Okay, so it's almost boiling. So I total mixture. Oh, there we go. So now it's boiling. You put the cocoa mixture to it. And then I got this ready.
Smells good.
So color.
Last demo of
In the recipe,
I don't know.
it says coloring 4 grams. Never mind, we don't go by grams because this is the liquid gel is a little stronger. So what we will do is we put about 8 drops of black coloring in there. Because the cocoa powder we have is very brown. It's not really black cocoa powder, right? So the glaze doesn't look as nice when it's just brown. It looks better when it's more black. So we put 8 drops in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, it's 8. 8 drops. 8 drops. Okay, so everything is in there, that's good.
I know.
Okay, let's put our fat in there. So the heat is turned off, by the way. When the cocoa powder goes in, turn the heat off.
Okay.
So let's put this in. Take the immersion blender. And now we emulsify everything again. And when we strain it, again, we let it sit overnight so it can solidify. And then tomorrow, all that we do is we just warm it up for our working consistency. Okay, that's good. And let's strain everything. I hope it fits. Oh, wait. Strain it, wrap it up, put your name on it. And that's it. Any questions about our dark glaze?
And then to the fridge, right?
And then it goes in the fridge, correct. We're gonna wrap it up as saran wrap. Because we don't have lids for this. Not for this. Oh, we do. Okay. Okay, no questions? Okay, have fun.